Michelle Kelly from Fathers Child Services CIC. So, can you tell me a bit about the organisation?
Sure. Hi guys, my name is Michelle Kelly. I'm the founding director of the Fathers Child Services, and we are a community interest company. We were set up in 2019, just before the pandemic. But the organisation was actually set up in memory of my daughter's dad. So he lived with schizophrenia and he passed away while under the local mental health trust. At the time, I wanted to leave a legacy, something that supported him, that supported my daughter, his daughter, who was only 12 years old at the time. So what we did was we created a service called Fathers Child Services that could provide a 360-degree service for fathers, children, parents, families, communities. So it supports everyone really.
And what would really help your community right now? What can people do to help?
I think at the minute there's so much going on in terms of the crisis, in terms of local services, local authority. First they were going broke, then they weren't. We've had bin strikes for a number of years. We've had mental health, the pandemic. I think I'm still seeing a lot of the issues from pandemic now stemming out into day-to-day life. So I'm seeing more and more young people living with and being diagnosed with autism, neurodiverse conditions, anxiety, depression. So I think from a community perspective, what I think we need to be doing is just really educating ourselves. If we can recognise the signs, not necessarily become experts, we are then more able to be responsive to the needs of our community.
And what are your goals like for the future as an organisation?
We've been set up since 2019. The past couple of years we've been working on our community consortium. We'll be launching our inaugural retreat, which is a business retreat, black, female-led. And one of the key things that we will be doing is launching our community consortium. So we've had our theory of change in place for a number of years, and basically it looks at a model where we actually support other businesses to have a good level of governance, utilise our services, and we signpost to them, they signpost to us. As part of the membership, there'll be business memberships, community memberships, but part of that membership for businesses will mean that they can come in and utilise our service. We can signpost our clients to them. I think one of the key things that we've realised supporting professionals, community individuals alike, is that a lot of our community organisations either work in silo, so very much on their own, which can lead to burnout. But also what I found is that when professionals become unwell, because they run their own businesses or they're self-employed, they then have no income. The community consortium model seeks to address that. And what we do is, for example, we've developed now a range of CPD accredited products, but we also develop them as CPD accredited products, which basically means we can train people in them, we can then train people to deliver them. So for example, if you had a business, you might say, okay, we want to license that product from you. If you weren't earning money, you might still be able to sell that product, still earn a bit of money, which is one of the key factors when we are self-employed. When we become unwell, we then lose our income, which then compounds our poor mental health and well-being. Yeah. We are based at Stewart Street. We are connected with many people. We are part of the VCSFE Mental Health Collective, and we do many community events. We also do our summer clubs, so our half holiday and food programs, which is supported by Bring It On Brum. We've been doing that for a number of years. We do food banks. There are referral forms on our website, and we accept referrals directly from individuals or organisations. So we are out there.
If I want to start my own CIC, how can you help me?
Okay. So one of the core things that our community consortium seeks to do is support people that want to start businesses, one, to understand what type of business they might want. We've got a course called CIC training, which is CPD accredited, 4.5 hours, and it will teach you the basics of what business structures are, if you are setting up, what will be your legal responsibilities if it's a limited company, if it's a CIC, if it's a charity. So it seeks to address those things that often, when people go and get other people to set their businesses up, you might not fully understand the process. So this training seeks to ensure that you understand your basic sort of responsibilities. As a director, you've got legal responsibilities, and that means each year you must do certain things like a confirmation statement. You must confirm to the company's house that you are still a director, or confirm all the directors. I mean, there are loads of new changes that have come in for businesses, so you've got to prove your identity now, whereas that wasn't a check previously. But also things like getting your accounts in, and just the basic due diligence, like being registered with the Information Commissioner, keeping vulnerable people's data and information safe. So we teach you all of those basic things, and it's a short course, and it's useful. It gives you a quick skills check as well. So ask you a simple sort of form, what are the sorts of things that you need to improve on? Are you a 1 or a 5 on this, that, the other? And it just leaves you with a visual sort of output, so that you can say, these are the things I now need to go away and work on.
And you can help people learn how to apply for funding and different things like that.
So our community consortium has a basis where it's a sliding fee scale. It has a community membership, it has a business membership. Our aim is to keep equity within the community in terms of charitable organisations, CICs. So there are different fees for limited companies. So limited companies, they can make profits. So the fees that we would charge them may be a bit more than what we might charge a charitable organisation or a charity. But what we will do is we support those organisations dependent on the level of membership that they have. So you can have bronze, silver, gold, platinum, community membership. We've got a graduate membership. So students that come to us that graduate either as counsellors, social workers, that then want to start up self-employed and use our space, we have a graduate scheme where they have a graduate membership fee. So it's different to businesses, etc., but we support them after they've qualified and become independent practitioners to actually be ethical and work well in the community to provide decent services to community members.
Okay, so is there a lot of government funding out there for people who want to start?
Government funding has gotten less and less, but again, what we do in terms of our training is we teach you about the different models. A lot of people make the mistake of going into business or setting up a CIC thinking they're a charity, and all they're going to do is apply for funding. The model of a CIC isn't just about getting funding. You should, from the day you set up, be gearing towards being able to sell products. So we opened as a CIC and we've always sold some of our products. So our counselling, mentoring, advocacy, our training, we all have always sold. So our income is made up on by the services that we provide, but also funding. Funding has gotten less and less because there are more CICs opening, applying for very small amounts of funding. So we can support people, and we do support people to apply for funding, but what we do is we aim to educate people about the type of organisation that they're setting up and how to give them the skills where we can in terms of understanding their governance, their due diligence, to make sure that they are able to make money and not just apply for funding.
And what events do you have coming up, and what services will you be providing in the near future?
Okay, so if you've got children or young people between the ages of 8 and 16, we've got our Bring It On Brum holiday and food programme, which starts on the 20th of July. For 5 weeks we'll be running that programme where we'll be supporting kids to have at least 2 hot meals a day, and loads of activities, going out on trips and things like that. So really, really useful for young people. For the adults, the services that we've currently got running are mental health first aid training for adults and youths. We also deliver counselling services, mentoring and black advocacy. And what I mean by black advocacy is we provide advocacy for people specifically that are black and brown that actually face a lot more issues just in terms of intersectionality. So that can be complaint support. We support families sometimes who are on child in need plans or child protection plans. We actually have students come in from the local universities and colleges. So we've just signed off our second social worker student in her second year, and we've signed off probably about 8 counsellors or therapists. And we've just had another one qualify with a master's and pass her proficiency. So as an organisation, we tend to support them so that they can gain their professional qualification, and we encourage them to sit on professional registers so that we give our communities the best quality support possible. Key events, which is our final thing, in November 2026 we will be launching our business retreats. It's led by our black female staff, and we will be doing our TNT live. Our TNT is the Nubian team, which is just our black-led females that run the organisation that lead a podcast called TNT, and we just encourage women to connect and discuss various topics. We'll be doing a live event, and if you go to our website, check out our impact page, you can actually see one of our previous live events on there. But the business retreat will be the inaugural retreat, so our very first one, and we will be launching our community consortium where we will pool resources, support other organisations to just build community equity and just make sure that we are providing good quality services for our communities.
Oh, this is amazing. Yeah, so New Star Radio listeners, there's going to be holiday clubs, there's going to be business retreats and all kinds of different activities, or if your business just needs a bit of support, then you know where to come.
Get in touch with us. We are looking for programs, so if you deliver any services, what we're looking to do is a monthly calendar, a 12-month program, whether it's gym, fitness, yoga, Pilates. Get in touch with us and see how we can support you to help support the community.
Thank you.